Now, we talked about this a while ago, and you brought up a good point, and I thought it was like it's super salient because I thought about it, but I never even like verbalized or anything. And that was when you talked about how the fact that Democrats are constantly talking about how Trump is a danger to democracy, and the fact that he's going to go out there and he's going to become a dictator. When in reality, which party had absolutely no desire to participate in the democratic process? Okay,
no.
This clip I'm going to read you, or let you listen to, is, and I wrote it down here, it's Nina Turner. She was an Ohio State senator, and she said it on the Breaking Points podcast on October 14th, 2024. When I was listening to it, she used to be a huge campaigner for Bernie Sanders back in 2016.
Okay.
She is definitely, she's the definition of left.
Okay.
She is a leftist through and through, okay? So it's kind of long. It's about 2 minutes. But I do want you to listen to the whole thing.
That ad makes my skin crawl as well.
I should probably say, give it a little bit of caveat. The Democrats had just released an ad against Jill Stein, who's running as a Green Party nominee, okay?
Independent.
Right. And so the whole goal of this ad that the Democrats ran against Jill Stein specifically Green Party, was because she's going to take votes away from Democrats. All she's doing is helping Donald Trump. So this is, again, with that caveat, this is the way she starts it off.
That ad makes my skin crawl as well, because the people who want to vote for Dr. Jill Stein, we assuming that if Dr. Stein was not on the ballot, that they would be voting for Democrats. And that's a wrong assumption. They're voting for Dr. Jill Stein or the Green Party because the Green Party puts up a different message, a different platform, and a different vision for this country. And yet it is very telling. They must be scared. And to conflate her voter saying that she is helping Donald J. Trump when nothing can be further from the truth. Again, this is the United States of America, so I thought. I also thought that people have agency in their ability to vote. That's what I thought. But the Democrats, by this ad and how they also comported themselves in the primary by locking everybody out of the primary, is showing that they themselves don't believe in small d democracy as they profess to. This is wrong, and it takes away the agency of voters, and it makes it seem like voters don't know what they want and what they're doing. You poor little voters, we're going to tell you what to do and how to vote. It's wrong. It's menacing what the Democratic Party is doing. And I'm really ashamed that my party would stoop to this level to say that anybody, that Dr. Jill Stein and the Green Party is in any way enabling President Donald J. Trump. I believe in democracy. I am a Democrat, but I don't answer. I don't worship this party. Democracy is more important to me. And so them coming at Dr. Jill Stein shows, and the Green Party shows how weak they are right now. And it is also the antithesis of what they say. So now they can't chastise the Republicans anymore about being a threat to democracy, because what the Democratic Party is doing right now is a threat to democracy. Voters want choice in the United States of America. We should not just have a duopoly in the United States of America. And if they got better ideas, they certainly raising more money. Why are you suing to get people like Dr. West off the ballot and suing to get people like Dr. Stein and Dr. Ware from the Green Party off the ballot? If my party is all that, they certainly getting all the money. They get all the airplay on mainstream media. So what y'all scared of?
Yeah.
That the American people will see different choices, and then they will make a different choice.
Couldn't agree more.
We should compete straight up.
Yeah. You know,
but obviously they don't feel that way.
We should compete straight up. Crazy.
Yeah. Crazy concept, right? She brought so many points to the table there that I was like pounding my fist. I'm like, yes. This is exactly how I feel on both sides. Like we have there's so much insane loyalty to specific either party and or person without recognizing the differences in both parties or both people, that you can get completely blinded by it.
Yeah.
And her point that, like, listen, we want choices. And when you do what the Democrats that did and have no primary elections and just say, nope, it's Joe Biden, and then until it's way too late to have a primary process, Joe Biden walks out. Nope, Kamala Harris. We had no choice in the matter.
Which is crazy, because if I was a left-wing Democrat and like we were trying to fix this or do whatever, that right there, you're like, what? We don't get a say. She's absolutely right. We don't get a say.
Yeah.
We're just supposed to fall in line and take away our agency. I love how she uses that word agency, because that's what it is, right?
Yes.
You take away my agency when you give me no choice.
And you're expected to be so hard party line that you will just accept it and go with it.
Yeah, and it's like crazy that they think, it's almost like they think you're stupid.
Yes, that's exactly what they think.
It's like, oh, they're stupid enough, they're sheep enough, they'll follow, they don't care, they're just going to do it, we're just going to tell them what they're going to do.
Yeah.
And it's like, you forget we live in America where we don't do that.
The part that I liked so much that you talked about is like, listen, if we, the Democratic Party, have all the answers, we've certainly got all the money. I mean, there's one story out there that everybody should know is that the Democrats raise way more money than the Republicans do. And, you have different reasons for it, whatever, we're not going to get into that. The point is, if you've got all the money and the better ideas, how come we're looking at a 50-50 in this election? If you have so clearly the high ground, it should not be that way. It should be a clear landslide, especially since the guy running was already president for 4 years.
Yeah.
You know what you're getting with that guy. But the Democrats were so scared of it, they just completely bypassed the entire primary process and are just force-feeding this candidate down your throats.
And that's what's going to hurt them. Instead of finding, they spend too much time. Again, I don't care which side you're on, but when you spend so much time as a party bashing and worrying about the other party that you can't even formulate your own, getting your own people. Like, why did you not spend all this time? You know, it would be, I think, Trump has got his own problem with his Twitter and his mouth, right? Yeah. We can all agree on that. I think at some point the problem is it wasn't that he wasn't a good president, in my opinion, is that he wasn't presidential at times. That really just made him look like an idiot, right?
And we have our different opinions. I hate the guy.
Right.
I can't stand the guy.
Right.
But the one thing that we should know, you're allowed to disagree.
Yeah.
And we're allowed to cast a vote.
If they would, but if the Democrats would have spent more time actually finding a good candidate, somebody that, hey, look, like this guy, look, we're not going to waste our time on this talking crap about this guy. We're above that. We're trying to make our country better. And we got to find a candidate who may be younger, more hip to the new, whatever, right? We got to be 35 at least, right? Tired of these 90-year-old presidents that come in with their 90-year-old logic, bro.
I know.
I mean, corporate America, everywhere this, like, I'm sorry, but at some point there's got to be a cultural shift or a millennial change. And I say it all the time about my work, and it's like right now we've got a bunch of dinosaurs that run my work, right? And it's fine. There was a time and place for them, but the millennial meteor is coming.
Yeah,
and that's where we're going to get a lot of change.
Millennial meteor, right? I love that. That's a great metaphor right there, dude.
Because it's coming, and in most places of work, it is coming. Everything is going to change because the millennial generation is going to take over, and we are a different breed than the baby boomers and the Xers. We're completely different.
And I think to Trump's credit, and I hate giving him credit for anything.
Right.
To his credit, I think he sees that, which is the reason why he selected a millennial as his vice presidential nominee.
And dude, also, I'm sorry, I don't know how, I can't say, I've watched a lot of JD Vance, right? And he was a Trump hater.
Yeah, literally called him American Hitler. Right. Literally called him that.
But he is so intelligent, and the way he talks and the way he's like, hang on, like, no, it's like, it's refreshing to hear somebody in politics with his viewpoints because he's a realist. Like, he doesn't make things, oh no, we're just going to bash. He's like, no, hold on. That's not how that worked. That's not what that was meant. And that, like, he's calling out journalists during interviews and like, stop. That's not how that happened. The
one thing with JD Vance that I really wish he would do differently is be the same guy that he is in the mainstream interviews on the podcast. On the podcast, that dude is a bro. He says some stupid things that totally puts his foot in his mouth and makes everybody look at this guy and say, who you are in mainstream media is not who you are. I listened to you over here. This is who you are.
Yeah.
And it totally takes away from one thing that I loved. Did you watch the vice presidential candidate
I watched parts of it, yeah.
Wasn't it refreshing to hear the two actually talk about what they want to do and what they care about as a nominee instead of this person over here can't golf?
Yeah.
This guy's, he's lying on his scorecard.
She hasn't worked at McDonald's.
She's never worked at McDonald's.
Dude, I'm sorry, the level of trolling with McDonald's is out of control. He actually went and worked at a McDonald's just to say that it's like, this is what we're talking about. This is the dumb stuff.
This is the crap nobody cares about.
Yeah, like, nobody cares, dude.
I guess somebody cares because,
okay, it's entertaining.
I can't understand why.
It's funny. I laugh because I'm like, it's just funny.
Yeah, but
really, is it necessary?
I think it's dumb. It's just, to me, it totally takes away from the actual issues. Because one of the things that actually is happening when Kamala Harris was asked on The View, what would you do differently that happened over the past 4 years? And her answer was, nothing comes to mind. What are you doing? Just say, literally, I'm Joe Biden.
Yeah.
I'm just a female version.
You're getting another him.
Just say that. It's not a problem. It's not hard for you to go and say, listen, I respect Joe Biden, but here's what I would have done differently. We don't agree on everything. We agree on a lot. Because J.D. Vance can say the same thing about Donald Trump. Listen, he and I don't agree about everything, but we agree on a lot. That's the way this country works. There's not a single two people on the planet that agree on everything.
Well, and your job as the vice president should be to disagree.
Yeah, to be the opposite voice.
The president will make the final decision, right? You're going to fall in line. He's the boss. But your job as the next in line is like, hey, listen, here's a different perspective, right?
Ultimately have their back, but also be willing to be the opposing voice in the room.
It'd almost be cool if, this would never work in this country right now, but like if you, as a Republican, your VP nominee had to be a Democrat.
That's the way it used to be,
and vice versa, right?
It used to be that whoever came in second in the democratic process, whoever got voted second, was the vice president.
So that would only make sense, but it would never happen in today's world because it's so crazy. But at least then you'd be like, listen, we got both sides arguing. The vice president really does. I mean, they have the last thing they have is that veto vote, right, or the power to overturn a tie, something, right?
Yeah, in the House.
So that's where it would be. Yeah, that's where it might be a little gray. Like you'd have to be careful with that. But for the most part, like you should put somebody in your circle that's going to tell you no, because you don't have to listen to them, but at least it gives you a perspective of why.
You know what I would like? I would like to see whoever comes second in the primary is automatically the vice president. That way you don't be able to go and pick somebody that's just going to be your lapdog.
Yeah.
You have to pick somebody that was actively running against you in the primaries so that when you guys actually get to that position, you can say, all right, listen, we don't agree on everything. We agree on enough to be a part of the same political party that probably have mostly the same views on how to get things done with our differences. Yep. And that way the people that voted for both different options, they can look at it and say, okay, at least I didn't get exactly who I wanted, but I'm getting kind of close.
Yeah, and at least they're going to have a voice in the room where we're going to try, right? Because at the end of the day, whoever the president is, they make the last decision, right?
Did you ever watch the show Veep on HBO? Mm-hmm. So it's funny, and it's pretty like, I don't know what's I'm really looking for. It's current in the sense that the whole story is about the vice president, a woman, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Elaine from Seinfeld. Okay. She's the vice president. You never see the president, right? And she just always gets dumped on. Anything that goes wrong, it's always her fault. Anything goes right, it's his fault. So, and then eventually, I haven't seen the whole thing, but eventually gets to the point, I guess, where she's running for president, which is like everyone's talking about. This is literally what we're seeing with Kamala Harris. This is the story of Veep. And I almost want to get through the whole thing just to see, like, how true is this?
How does it go?
Yeah. Because it'd be fair.
It makes me amazing. Have you seen Designated Survivor?
No. Oh, it's a TV show.
Sutherland.
Oh, no. That is what I thought it is. No. It's on ABC or something like that?
It was, yeah. It's not. Yeah. Netflix took it over, it went to crap. But, dude, that is, you don't want anything crazy like that to happen. But it would be crazy if our entire government was leveled and you had one guy who was the designated survivor, he's over like some like green planned stupid something, right? Who's totally not in the political realm.
Nobody knows anything about this guy.
And now he's the president of the United States making decisions. The first 2 or 3 seasons were phenomenal. And then it went to crap.
Did you ever see The Postman?
No.
Okay. You know what The Postman's about?
Nope.
All right. Well, I don't know if I want to get into it.
Oh.
A famous flop from Kevin Costner's movie history.
Oh, that's why it sounds familiar.
I loved it.
I never saw it. But
it's dumb. It's long. Yeah. It's very long, which is also kind of the way Kevin Costner does things. He does things in very long form. But it's funny because there's certain people that rise to power that were like copy salesmen, and other people that rise to power that were Tom Petty, who literally plays himself as a mayor of some town out in Oregon.
Perfect.
Anyway, all right, so there's that. This is something that's driving me nuts. You may have seen the same thing if you're watching indie games out there on the commercials. And this is something that's been growing, I'm going to say for, 10 years, maybe more. The absolute influx of how pets replace children. Okay?
Dude.
And let me start this off by saying, when Shalay and I first got married, we got a dog, Randy. Best dog ever. Okay? We couldn't have kids for a long time for reasons unbeknownst to us. So we were the weird pet people. We were. I'm not denying it. But you could never have convinced me that as much as I love my dog, Randy, that it was a child. Never.
No.
Okay? Now I'm seeing commercials about like people on FaceTime, mom with their kids, and like, where's my grand dog? And I just want to be like, what the?
Yeah.
What?
No.
What is this? And then I just saw this bumper sticker, something along the lines of proud grandmother to a Schnauzer or something stupid like that. And I just like, guys, What are we doing here?
People are so dumb.
So dumb, right? It's so
I mean, I love animal. Dude, we've all had, you're talking about a dog, right? We've all had a dog or an animal that we've
pet,
all loved, that when it died, it was arguably really, really bad, right?
So much harder than you ever thought it would be.
Ever, right?
Yeah,
like
you
my
were
dog,
shocked.
oh gosh, dude. I was a crying, sobbing, giant white dude in a little vet place with this dog laying in my arms, right? Like it was the worst.
We've all been Ron Burgundy in the Glass Case of Emotion.
100%.
When Baxter got punted off the bridge.
He bought Baxter.
We've all been that. But I remember, dude, when Randy died, I could not have ever convinced myself of how sad I was going to be.
No, but
never.
But it's not a kid.
But it's not a kid.
So it's funny because with this same dog, when I went in one time, her face was all swollen, right? Because she got into peanut butter. And we didn't know it was an allergy. They come in and were like, oh, it's going to be like, $600 for the antibiotic. And I looked at this lady and I said, listen, I'm from a place where when a dog gets like this, we use a 22-cent bullet and we shoot it. Her face dropped, bro. She walked outside. She came back. I kid you not, bro. I paid $40 for the same thing that she was going to charge me $600 for. I'm like, come on. This is the problem with you guys right now. Like, this is the problem. Like,
this is the reason
they are
why.
not people. As much as, I could bring my dog in here right now. It'd be fine. But at the end of the day, they're not people. And you will see the freeway in Phoenix, bro, is a great example. The entire freeway will stop for a dog. If you are a person walking on the freeway, you are as good as dead. They got somewhere to be, and it is not going to slow down for a person.
How sad is that? Because you're speaking 100% truth, man.
It's crazy.
Listen, I want you to know, I freaking love dogs. I got my 2 dogs outside right now. In fact, part of me when I wrote this down, I was like, I'm going to make sure I bring Dundee, my Australian Shepherd named Dundee, by the way. Crocodile, exactly. I want to bring him in here and just show you guys, I love my dog.
Yeah.
He's a great guy. I love that little dude. I mean, he hangs out with me. Whenever we go camping, he just hangs by. Like, he's a great dog. I love dogs. My wife's got her dog. She kind of annoys me, but truth be told, I love that stupid little thing too, right? But it's not my children. And for you people out there trying to convince yourself that your animal is your child, it's not. And I'm not trying to take away from your love of your animal, because I freaking love my animals too, but they are not humans. They're funny. Not.
So have you seen the Ryan Reynolds things when he talks about having a kid? And
yes.
He's like, look, before I had a kid, I would take a bullet for my wife, right?
Yes.
Like it was just what I would do. The second I saw that baby, I would push my wife in front of a bullet to save
that baby.
Yeah,
it is, dude. I don't like. It's just one of those things where it's like we have to get some perspective, people. Animals are not people. Does that mean we should just slaughter them and not care about them? No. But recognize there's a difference.
But people don't. They put pets like dogs above people.
Above people.
It's crazy. You can leave a homeless dog on the road, bro, and someone gonna pick it up and do everything. Homeless people, we drive by them all the time, bro.
Dude, I know.
It's just crazy.
It is crazy. It is crazy.
Stupid.
Okay, those are 2 things I really just had to get off my chest.
That makes sense. It's just funny.
Oh, dude, I don't know if it's been a proliferation of like animal animal pet food commercials where mom's telling you, hey, you need to make sure you feed your pet this. It's like, listen, do you know how much things cost right now?
Dude,
Walmart brand's gonna have to do, because that's what I can afford. Like, I can't go be buying fresh, wet food and feeding them steak. I can't do it.
No.
Dude, I could keep going up. That it stuck a nerve today when I saw that sticker, and I was like, I'm in. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, man. All right, dude. I got nothing else as far as the non-sports go. So
I'm good.
All right, stay fresh, you cheese bags.
Like fat kids in dodgeball. We're out. The JJ and Puck Show theme song is written, composed, and performed by Lane Hartman. Thank you to Highland Communities for the support of our show. You can find the JJ and Pug Show on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and anywhere you listen to your podcast. Just Google us if you're confused. Remember to share the show with your friends and family. Subscribe wherever you listen. Buy a shirt, reach out to us, and place an order. Each shirt is $20, and if we can hand deliver it, we will, but if we have to ship it, it'll be $25. If you're able, feel free to support us by sending a donation to us by going to kfo.com/The JJ and Pug Show. That's ko-fi.com/The JJ and Pug Show. And thanks again to all who listen. We really appreciate your support for our show, and we hope to continue to grow.